Yo, what's up? Back again. Another little YouTube video. Just gonna do a quick video on just a little review on Brawl, to be honest. New predecessor game mode has come out. Without hating too much, I mean, is it really hating or is it an observation? It's essentially Smite Arena. No, like, I mean, it makes sense doing Arena. In a 3v3 game mode, in a third person game mode, like Predecessor is, or third person MOBA, like Predecessor is, just like Smite. I don't think Arena or this type of game mode would really work in League, Dota, or any of like click to move MOBAs. But as I said, it definitely works in a third person one. So I can understand why they did it, especially the case of Smite releasing Arena pretty early in Smite's life. It came out like it wasn't out straight away, but yeah, it was out pretty early. I'm not sure if it was as early mined as what Predecessor had done, because when you think about it, really, as I mentioned in my previous reviews, the game's literally been out for like a year maybe, but I mean, it used to pay to play prior to it going free to go on alpha, and it's out in alpha. So I mean, yeah, they've done a good job in terms of releasing it early. Like, it's super soon in the game's life where they've actually released a brawl, which is what it's called, which is essentially, as I said, an arena. Um, so that's pretty impressive, to be honest. Because, as I said, normally they'd focus on getting the 5v5 game mode right. So their Conquest or, their standard game mode, that's what the game's balanced around and everything. That being said, I can see why with Predecessor being free to play now and having more players, they definitely want to bring a game mode out, I guess, which is easier for the casuals to understand. It's easier for new players to understand. It's less tactical. So, I mean, don't remember what it is, but I'd say it's less tactical, but still having some tactics or some basic tactics, which, I mean, that's nice. It's nice for new players. Like Smite does a massive arena player base, like where people literally only play arena and Smite to some extent. There used to be a ranked arena mode back in the day. So yeah, as I said, it's a good idea and it works well with Predecessor, so I can totally understand why they did it. In terms of the game mode itself, as it literally, if you're new to Predecessor and familiar with Smite or wherever you're coming from, it plays exactly like Smite's arena. So there's there's a jungle on either side of the map, with 3 buffs on it, and then the middle is basically where the fighting takes place, essentially. It's a little bit different in terms of it feels a bit bigger, just because the 2 sides of the map are risen. So because of that, you feel like it's like a different part of the map altogether, if you know what I mean. As you can see on the video, here is all risen. And like with the levels that it has, I think it makes the map feel just generally overall like quite a large map, considering it's like weird. It gives you a weird perception because it's small and big at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Which is definitely nice. It's definitely nice having the like tiers and having bits which is higher up, like them rocks you can jump on in front of me right now, or being able to like stand up on the side and then gank almost, it feels like. So if you're playing assassin, you're not like completely useless like in Smite. I mean, you could do similar things where you can sit around the side of the jungle and gank, but I mean, it just doesn't feel as cool, like it does work, but assassins are essentially useless in Smite's arena, or at least for the most part. Don't get me, there's some are good, like Kali and stuff if you get go in, and Socket's okay if you go tank and stuff like that, but for the most part, assassins ain't good in arena. So yeah, it just gives it a bit of a fresh outlook on it, I guess I'd say. But and as all the Predecessor stuff, the map looks amazing, super nice looking. But yeah, as I'm saying, basically the same principles as portals you push the minions into, and that gives you points. Kills gives you points. Killing the minions in general gives you points. And then, well, I guess it doesn't really give you points, as the enemy team lose points if you push minions in, or if you kill minions and that type of thing. Also, as I said, kills, and then it in the middle of the game, just perfect time, it just spawned. You see that T-Rex? That basically spawns exactly like Smite has. Smite has a siege minion, this has tier X's. Cooler, to be honest. Way cooler having a tier X than it is a freaking siege minion. To be honest, I think both teams just get siege minions. I'm not actually sure though how it works in Predecessor, because obviously in Smite it does. Like, for example, in Smite, I say both teams at a certain point in the game will get a siege minion based on, I'm pretty sure it's based on minion kills, like how many points each team has a minion or a siege minion spawns. On here, I'm not actually sure, because I'm pretty sure I didn't see our team's tier X end, so I'm sure theirs only spawned. So I'm not sure if it's the same reason, like the same way or whatever, but yeah. Definitely similar, sorry, itching armpit. But yeah, as I was saying, the map looks dope. You got another item slot now from this patch, which is nice in Arena. Or Brawl, should I say. Fucking, I can't stop saying Arena. The map looks stunning. Really cool. Good tiered system, like having be able to jump off, like I said. The gameplay itself is fast paced as you'd expect. It's basically just a 5v5 team fight all the game, which is, I mean, it depends what you're into. Some people like the more slow paced games, but it's definitely fun. It's a nice change of pace when you can't be bothered for a long, like potentially 50-minute conquest game. I know they don't all go that long, but there's always a chance in it that a flipping conquest game or 5v5 game could go that long. Arenas aren't. They're like max 20 minutes. Like, so it's nice to just jump into a game, have a quick game of it, and then leave, you know? Like, you don't have to take it too seriously. It's a casual. It's good for trying out new gods. Not so much all the new gods, or take up the pinch of salt, because you don't want to try new gods in Arena. So, in some cases anyway. Like, basically all the hunters are mages. I'd say are pretty good in Arena. But just like Smite's Arena, some gods are actually awful in Arena, especially, as I said, assassins, and that type of thing. And if you don't know how to play them, even warriors to an extent, if you don't know how to play them, you're just going to feed. Like, you're not going to know how to frontline, maybe, or whatever. But it is good practice for a support player or a warrior player to be able to frontline and get used to it in a more casual environment. But yeah, definitely a good game mode, as I said, team fighting all game. Ample opportunities to just get practice, warm up, hit and auto attacks. How the game pace is, as I said, it's fast paced, exactly like Smite Arena. Overall, good game mode. I enjoyed playing it. The weirdest thing I found though is because it's a tiered map, because there's like uppers and lowers, and because the minions are so big, the minions do feel like they get in the way sometimes. I mean, not always. I might get hate for that. Not always, because I don't know if that's everyone's opinion or just mine, but I definitely feel like sometimes the minions just stand in there, bro. Like, but how Arena plays in Smite is a lot smoother. Like, do you see what I mean about the minions in Smite? It's not like, they're not as like intrusive, I want to say. It's like they are there and they do play, like they do have a part to play, yeah, I guess, or they have a place obviously in Arena. But in Predecessor, as I said, they just feel so big that it's like they just start battering. That was a fucking good round steal. They just start battering you, and it just feels horrible. Like, so there's that. Also, if you notice on Smite, in comparison, look how big the middle of the map is. It feels like almost like a more traditional type of Arena game mode. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Predecessor probably has more depth. But like, if you just want a classic, straight up team fight, no nonsense, don't have to worry about anything else. Don't even have to consider it, like take in consideration anything else. You can literally just play, go into the game, pick fucking a hunter and Smite or mage or whatever you want to play, batter people for 20 minutes, depending on how slow or fast the game goes, and then just go into the next or do whatever. It's just a good warm-up game, or however you are playing it. Then Smite is by far better in that sense. You can just jump on, smoke people, super simple, easy to understand. I feel like, even though I've played quite a bit of Predecessor now, granted still not loads, I think maybe like 20 hours or something, so not even a day really, when I've spent like 5,000 hours on Smite or some shit, some sad number. I mean, granted, most of my Smite time is in Conquest and Duel, but still, it just feels like the Predecessor one is a lot harder to know what's going on. You do have to take into consideration more things. As I said, though, it's definitely a good game. If you're a Predecessor main and you don't play Smite or anything like that, you probably, I mean, you could have played Smite already, so you'd know what it's like. But for the most part, you're not going to know any different if you're a Predecessor main or if you're new to the game and you're just coming to Predecessor. Brawl is all you'll know. And you'll enjoy it, as I said. It's a fast-paced, good team fight game mode, and it's good. The best thing, the way I'd play it is just for practice, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't take it seriously unless it's a ranked mode that comes to it, then crack on, take it seriously. But it's definitely like just a practice game mode, no. Like, I know Casual Conquest is practice game modes as well, but because Predecessor doesn't have a ranked system, or not at least for low levels like myself, I know they are bringing a ranked system out, though they might already have, to be honest. I might be tripping, I'm not sure. But either way, because I'm too low level to play freaking ranked anyway, so. But as I was saying, if you do just play casual game modes like Conquest or Brawl, then it's the best way to practice. Just playing frontline guards, as I said, just good for team fighting, good getting used to how the game plays. And I'd say it's even more beneficial in Predecessor having an arena game mode because of how slow paced the game is. Whereas in Smite, it used to be the case where the game was really slow paced, and then you would play arenas and it'd be really good practice for team fights, because a lot of Conquest, say, you wouldn't actually like get to a team fight phase. Sometimes if the game's a stomp, say in Conquest, you would just end the game before you ever start actually team fighting properly. So the game would just be like, it wouldn't happen as much. And then when it did, it's just less time periods in it, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, you don't have as many reps in a casual Conquest, say, to team fight. So, yeah, as I said, that's why it's good in Predecessor. It makes it even better because of the fact that the late game comes around a lot slower. So, you could play, like, for example, 3 5v5 Conquests in Predecessor, and out of that, them 3 games, you could be in it for 90 minutes, all 3 games, like, and you may spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes even, in a late game team fight where your whole team have grouped up and everyone's actually fighting how they're meant to be. Your front lines are being tanks and dive in the back line and stuff like that. Whereas in Brawl, it literally happens from freaking 5 minutes. So you can get so much more reps in terms of actually learning how to play team fights, how to play the game. Skip back to the Predecessor video on Sparrow. Bloody clutch that, boys. But yeah, definitely a good game mode. Overall enjoyed it. Definitely worth a go. Give it a little play. Peace. What's up? Give me a like and subscribe. Follow my Twitch. I'm streaming, boys. I'm so close to getting 50 followers, and I'd be gassed if I do. Don't hate me for having an opinion. Thanks. I mean, I may have spent, how long was this video? Like 10 minutes or some shit? Yeah, 30 minutes. I may have spent 30 minutes waffling, boys. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't write anything down for this. I just kind of free cast it. So yeah, just took it for it, just wung it. Just give my opinions, my honest opinion on the game, or the gameplay. Yeah, that's that. Have fun. See you in a bit.